In this video, we're going to talk about another reason why you can't let go of your ex. Why there's part of you that, even though all logic tells you that this doesn't work, it isn't right, you deserve better, there's still part of you that doesn't want to let go. And it even confuses you because you don't understand it, because you understand the logic. Right? There's some part of you that still feels something about this person, still thinks about them, still wonders, still wants them back even though everything else is telling you that it doesn't make sense. Actually, it does make sense. And we're going to talk about that in this video. Before I get into this, I'd like to let you know that there are 2 spaces left on the Breakthrough 2025 program for anybody who is in this situation where you're not able to let go, even though you would like to, and then there's also part of you that wouldn't like to. And it's causing you a lot of discomfort. You've tried everything, you understand everything, you've been to therapy. Now it's time to do something different, to try something new for you, to spend the rest of the year focusing on you, building your sense of self back, finding your connection to you, the thing that is going to set you free at the end of the day. So if you would like to go on a 12-week journey, it's very special, very unique. The people who are in this group are beautiful people who are all going through something similar. Then you can find out how to apply in the link below. I'm doing discovery calls this week for anybody who is interested in taking one of those spaces. Right, so what is this reason? I was just talking about this to one of my clients, and this is something that I did and something that so many people do, and it's one of the stages of grief, which is bargaining, right? And what this is where you're still in your head, not in acceptance of the situation, and you're trying to find a way to reason with how maybe this could actually work, a different way of thinking or feeling about it, a way that you could try to make it make sense for you, for this to be okay. This is bargaining, right? Where you're not yet moving into the actual depth of the loss and the grief. You're circling the grief. And people do this for such a long time. You're circling the reality of the situation. You're seeing that the grief is there, but you're not going toward it. And as long as you are not going towards that grief, you will always be stuck in some way on this person. And the reason why you're stuck on them is because you're not allowing yourself to feel the reality of the situation. And that means simply seeing it for what it is. And sometimes we get so frustrated and triggered by this person because we want them to be different than how they are, who they are. We want them to think differently, feel differently, be different. And as a result, we're in resistance to life. And as long as we're in resistance to life, we're in resistance to ourselves and to what we feel. And our feelings at the end of the day are our experiences of life. So the remedy for this is giving yourself permission and the safety to let everything that you feel be okay, right? And this means that whenever you get triggered by a thought or a feeling or a Facebook post or an Instagram post or something, that instead of ringing your friends or talking to ChatGPT or trying to find a reason why maybe this person does actually miss you after all. And, you know, all of the videos on YouTube about how to get them back, do they miss me, all of this kind of stuff. It's all avoidance of grief. And it's all circling the grief and not living in it. And the disadvantage of doing this is that you get like a quick hit of, yeah, maybe they miss me. Maybe it's them, it's their avoidance. But you're avoiding the grief. You're avoiding the loss, right? So you're also in avoidance. And as long as you're focusing on them, you're avoiding the reality of the situation. It hasn't worked. It doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a reality in this which is just so hard to face. And, you know, me and my ex were doing this for so long. And it's not just you doing this, especially, you know, if you're with someone who is avoidant, they'll poke their head back in because they're also avoiding it. They're also avoiding the loss. They don't want to face it. This is why some exes will say, do you want to be friends? Or I want you to still be in my life. Or how can we keep in touch? Or even though I don't want to be with you, please can I send you messages every now and then? Can I check up on you? I don't want to lose you. You know what I mean? Like they're also circling the grief, and someone's got to call it. Someone's got to be the grown-up here and say it for what it is, which is you're both not accepting reality, you know? So this is a really, really hard thing to do. And I was doing this as well with my ex, and so was he, to the point where we were like, what the fuck is this? Let's go to therapy and sort it out, because either we're going to be together or we're not going to be together. And we went to the therapy, and it was very good, because what she basically said was, Karina wants this and he wants this, and they are not the same things. And you're both trying to change each other. You're not accepting the situation as it is. And she made it just really clear. And it gave me this permission to just bawl my eyes out like I'd been avoiding doing to some degree. Although, you know, actually that's not true, because I had been crying, but I'd been crying out of frustration of not being able to understand what the hell was going on with me, you know, not understanding the resistance I was feeling, not understanding why I couldn't let go, just frustration of wanting him to change and him not changing. But actually, when you face the grief head on, it's a different type of cathartic crying that happens, a different type of release when you allow yourself permission to accept that something is the way that it is. Yeah. And it gave me such a freeing feeling afterwards. I was like, oh, this is what it is. It can be different now. And it brought me forward in the stages of grief towards acceptance. And it helped set me free. And it was very, very powerful, that session, because it was a session and this is what it is. It doesn't work. Simple as that. Where I'd been like in my head trying to change him, trying to change myself, trying to accept it, and he'd been trying to change me, trying to make me think differently. And we were both just like two worlds apart, you know, many worlds apart. And being able to just see it for what it is helped me and him, I think, get to a place of, oh, this is what it is. And that's okay. You know, you're not going to go up to a tree and say, I wish you were a balloon, you know? Sorry, this is another one of my weird analogies that just comes out of nowhere. You're not going to go up to a tree and say, why aren't you a balloon? I just want you to... Why can't you just be a bit rounder? Like, oh, it's so frustrating. Stand at the tree for ages being so frustrated that it's not a balloon. You wouldn't. You'd just go, this is just a tree. This is a tree. Now I'm going to go and find a balloon. A balloon is a different thing than this thing that I'm asking it to be. You know what I mean? You don't get frustrated with those things because it is what it is. But when it's a person, we think that we can mould them, change them, make them be different. When they don't want to be, it's a losing battle. So, are you circling the grief? Are you avoiding it? And if you are, today, just see something that you've been triggered by and see if you can just think, fuck it, this is what it is. And see what comes up for you when you do that. To be fair, when you say fuck it, it does release quite a lot quite quickly, and you might not find yourself having a big cry about it because it releases it in a different way. But if you allow yourself to just be with it, like if someone sat you and your person down today and said, you're completely different, you want different things, this is what it is, what would that open up for you? What part of you would feel a little bit more free, knowing that it is what it is, you know? And you know that it is what it is because if it wasn't what it is, it would be something different. Yeah, you'd be together. And then that would be what it is. But because it is what it is, you're in resistance to it. So I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like any more information about what I do, if you'd like to come onto the Breakthrough program where we can process all this stuff, I'd love to hear from you. And if not, then I'll see you in the next video. Bye.